player was picking up some singles from me, and that player mentioned to me that everyone locally knows me. Um, he said I used to be the secret of getting his singles and getting his decks built out, and now over the past, I guess, 2 years, everyone in the player circuit, and this is not just one game store, it kind of is one game store, but everybody in the player circuit knows about us now, which is awesome, and it's good to be second best. Now, are we the second biggest? No. Are we the second most selection? Maybe getting there. Definitely not the second most in sales, but we're getting there. The players, the local players, the guys who go to regionals, the guys who play every week, they know about me. They know that if they need to fill out their deck, pick up cards, they tend to look to me because I keep a pulse on what's playable and what cards I need to get up on the site from trainers to reverse holo cards. I try to keep an eye on that stuff. But this player said everyone knows me now. I'm no longer his secret. And that's what I like. I mean, that's good. I'm becoming second best at being the place to get player singles. Now, the way I did that was completely by accident. Being known for, we kind of wanted to be known for like the sealed product guys when we first started. We wanted to have sealed product. It was so hard to find. We started, at the tail end of COVID when you couldn't find product. You still can't find product locally here in Canada, here in the East Coast and in Walmarts. There's still people posting that Walmart photo saying, what should I buy when there's a restock? Anyway, we're second best now. People come to us looking to fill out their deck. They search our web store. They contact me directly. I don't even know. Some of them don't even look at the website. They just contact me and say, I need X, Y for my deck. Most times I can make it happen. A lot of times I can make it happen, which is where I want it to be. I want it to be that small guy who has the cards, who can, who can make stuff happen. And I think that's kind of the niche that we fell into. And we're going to embrace it, I think, from a selling perspective. I started recently with Twilight Masquerade to sort of try to get inventory of the entire set up, all of the trainers, all the players. Unfortunately, Shrouded Fable was so limited, short printed or whatever, that we didn't open a single pack. There was nothing to open. We sold out. I think there was other guys locally who were still selling Shrouded Fable. I don't know how, because it went like hotcakes. It just sold through so quickly. But we're second best now, I guess, in terms of where to find singles locally. Single cards, collectible cards. And a lot of it's due to the approach that I had with trade-ins. I know I can see the other guys, the other local online sellers, they're trying to do like trade-in credit. They're trying to accept cards and they're like, up to 90% of value. And so I've been doing that for a couple of years now, and I've developed these good relationships with, bigger collectors, people who do open a lot of packs, and that becomes my source for singles. I have one collector, and he just doesn't understand that no matter how many Buddy Poffins he can give me, I can sell through them like that. That's the way it goes. So I've become second best place for players to find cards for their decks, and I'm very happy about that. It's a niche I didn't know I wanted to be in. The player who was picking up some cards for his deck told me that I used to be his little secret of where to find cards, and now everyone he talks to, all the guys who go to regionals, build out decks, they know about me. They use me. They'll look on the website for the card that they need to complete their deck. It's awesome. I'm going to try to embrace it. I'm going to try to keep working on uh, player singles. Keep working on trying to get as many of the non-hit cards up, trainer cards, reverse hollows that people want to have for their deck. I'm gonna keep embracing that, and I think that's what we're gonna do. Um, we can compete with the sealed product. We're gonna keep buying it, of course. It becomes it's the key in getting collectors to um, to trade in their dupes. It's the key, having the sealed product to for them. But I always thought, we could become big like Danny Phantom or who's that? Brian from Pokey. I always thought, oh, it'd be so nice to get really big like those guys, to be able to have like a warehouse filled with cards and just work the online angle. Wake up, ship 15, 20 packages, then go to work. We're definitely not going to be that size for sealed. Um, I don't think we're going to be that size for singles. Um, I don't think the east coast of Canada really works. There's just something about shipping in Canada that really destroys the chance for anybody to have a successful sealed product play. The fact is that the cheapest flat rate box you can buy, whether it's to ship a booster box or an ETB, the cheapest you can ship one of those things is like $16.99 plus tax. So it's just it's so expensive to ship stuff in Canada. So you can't do the sealed play. You can't have a warehouse full of sealed product booster boxes and expect decent profit. And originally I thought, well, I could see that. The numbers would tell me that. You end up wiping away your margin whenever you ship something. So I tried locally for a while. I tried to work the local angle, be the place for people to do pickups. And I'm going to continue that because it's helped me find a lot of relationships and a lot of people who will do trade-ins and things. But you can't sort of break through the online marketplace for sealed product. But when it comes to singles, that's when I found a niche that opened up for us. And it's not necessarily hit cards, the big cards, because truthfully, people do not trade those in. Where our niche came is a lot of the binder cards, a lot of cards that you want to fill out your binder with, and playables. Playables became a huge thing. So us trying to get as many playables up, energy cards, like reverse holo energy cards. Most of the collectors, they have a page of each energy and they're done. But if you think of it, I mean, the players, they need, enough energies for their deck. They like the shiny energy in the deck. It became our thing. We became the spot, at least on the East Coast here, and truthfully, a huge amount of, probably about 80% of our Canada traffic, our traffic comes from the rest of Canada, 80%. Ontario, Quebec, BC. And when you're shipping singles, it's a lot cheaper. You still have to, it's still not cheap, right? It's still at least, $3 in postage and $2 for the mailer, but singles becomes far more easy to rationalize and to ship than sealed product. And that's the niche that opened up for us. And we became second best. Now, the only reason we can't become best, I think, we can't become the top, is a lack of storefront. And of course, lack of time. I don't think there's a way for us to really get much bigger than we currently are. I've thought a lot about it. I've looked at the numbers and I just don't see an uptick more than I think we're seeing maybe 10% a year uptick in size. I was really hoping to get, by this time, about 3 times the size we currently are. I was hoping by the time that Kai hits around 16 that it could become almost a good income for a 16 to 8-year-old, 18-year-old, something like that. Something for him to pick up and to own, to carry forward. But I don't think it's going to get there. I think we're just going to have a little hobby business for us to entertain ourselves with it. And I think it's okay. If the opportunity arose to change something, I would, but I haven't figured anything else other than just being the guy who has the sealed product, the guy who says yes to trade-ins, and the guy who, on occasion, buys your collection. I've had to say no to a bunch of collections because I just wasn't liquid enough, but that happens. You know, gotta have funds in order to pay out. It's a lot better to do trade-ins for us because we turn product into cards, and we're finding that singles in Canada, cards, are far more lucrative than sealed product, mostly because shipping. There's no way we can compete with a store that doesn't have shipping. There's no way we can compete with guys in Ontario who they must not pay shipping to get the cards to them. Like, we pay freight to get the cards, to get our sealed product from Ontario here to Nova Scotia. Like, we have to pay to get it here, and then we'd have to pay to get it back, right? So, to ship it back. We pay freight on distributor orders, right? So I just don't think there's a sealed play in our future where sealed isn't only for us a source to acquire new customers and to let them know they can see in the website that we're a legit Pokemon retailer because we have all the newest sealed product, and yet our niche is going to be singles. That is where margins are for us. That's where shipping doesn't undercut everything that you do. That's us. We're second best in singles. And the only thing I can think is for us to continue to be an acquirer of collections, acquirer of singles, try to build up so that our inventory is so significant that we become not just the place locally for players to find the cards they need, but the place, you know, in Canada where players can pick up singles. And it's unlikely we'd be able to compete with the stores in Ontario that have foot traffic, that have people coming in with their collections and dropping it off. But we'll inch along, right? We'll slowly build, we'll slowly find more collectors in our area who want trading credit. We'll continue to buy, like, from people who are, you know, getting married, moving on, stopping collecting, or even trying to just rehome a portion of their collection, or trying to concentrate your collection. We're going to try to be that company that can help people out. And I think that's a good niche to be in. The reason players are coming to us, players know about us locally, is because I try to help people out. I try to get them the cards they need. I try to be, you know, friendly person who you can chat with a little bit about Pokemon when they show up and pick up their cards. So that's the thing. You don't have to always be the best. Sometimes being the second best, finding a little niche and focusing can help you be a little bit more successful. And that's what we've been finding, is that us being this little niche, it helps a lot. Being known for something is superior than just trying to copy everybody else. Like, there's no way we have the time to be a rip and ship company or a rip and shipper. There's no time for us to spend our weekends doing, you know, kiosks and flea markets. For us, we just don't have the time. We are Kai's school. He's got school. I've got my full-time job, which we both enjoy a lot. We just don't. We can't be that other niche that people are competing in. But for some reason, we can do the single cards. We have processes in place. We have storage. We have the ability to find things. We have a good inventory system with our web store. We're probably one of the best websites locally. Probably best, truthfully, because many card stores stick to the binder POS. They stick to those boilerplate websites, and then they just skin them to make them look, like different color. I think we probably have one of the better websites, more enjoyable to peruse, to browse. The fact that we're not using stock images, I think it was a crazy decision that we made to actually image our cards, to have a one version image of what the card we're selling is. Makes shopping the web store kind of neat, right? Enjoyable. You can see, the shine of reverse holo. For, more expensive cards, we can actually, post a video or post the actual image of the card. So anyway, it all allowed us to sort of fill this local niche for players, which somehow expanded to be, we're doing about 80% of our singles sales across Canada outside of where we live, outside of Nova Scotia, which I'm okay with. And we're getting some really good customers. I was always afraid if I send a lot of like $5 shipping, like no tracking, because you can't ship tracked in Canada. I was afraid I'd get a lot of didn't arrive. But so far, maybe one or two a year, and that's it. And of course, if it's under $50, you just have to accept lost mail. That's the way it goes, and you make that person whole who lost the cards. You gotta do the best for your customers. You gotta be always on, which is hard to do. But I think that's the only way we got to where we're probably second best for singles in our region. Boasting. And short of having a physical location, a store, I think this is probably where we're going to dig in, where we're going to keep building, and we're going to keep being second best. So yeah, it's where we are. Our vacation is basically over. I've used up every day I have, unfortunately, so this is it. We have to pack up and head back. I've got some orders to fulfill. They've been waiting for me since we left. Hope you guys have a wonderful summer.